Tech It Out. I'm Sam Major, Commercial Director for Krome Technologies. I'm joined today by Rupert Mills, my co-founder, business partner and general dog's body.
Thank you very much.
Today we're talking about collaboration technologies, the advancement in such tools, and also new meeting room technologies, which personally I find quite interesting.
We spend a lot of time in them at the moment, aren't we? It's,
Indeed.
Back in the office or dealing with people on Teams, Zoom, whatever at home. It's or in remote locations. People aren't really travelling around the world so much, certainly. So.
No, and we're definitely, whilst we're back in the office, certainly we are and have adopted, a remote working policy. Most of our clients are doing the same. So whilst we are back in offices, we're still doing an awful lot. I certainly am. You certainly are. An awful lot of meetings using video conferencing technologies, and there's some good ones. Teams is great, that's what we use. Zoom's another good one that's out there. There's some others that I shan't name that aren't so good that we have issues with. But that's kind of the VC side of it. And everyone's got a VC offering, which is good and or bad, but there's a collaboration side. And I think personally, from what we've seen using Teams, I would say, as my personal opinion, it's probably the best one, just given the amount of technology that it's kind of laden with some of the things we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's horses for courses across the various different meeting room tools, but really it's about how you use them. And I think there's a lot of people out there that use those tools that actually probably don't know some of the additional features you can use in them, or actually right-sizing the tools you're using. So things like headsets or additional cameras or things like that actually make a really big difference to that experience that you wouldn't really think about until you test it and try it, and suddenly it makes sense. Headsets,
definitely. I know we both tried a few in the early days to get the right one, but it does, like I say, the noise cancelling capabilities and all that sort of stuff makes a tremendous difference to the quality of the whole experience. So clearly we're stood by a Surface 2.
Yep, we've had these for a while now. These were, I think, 2018, 2019 launch. They're the replacement for the original Surface 1s, obviously, clues in the name. But they're a great collaboration tool, but most people will go into a room and use these for a video conference, and that's about it. But they do an awful lot more than that, and you can, with the sort of advance of people onboarding Office 365 properly and using the various different tools inside that, you can use the Office applications on it, so you can collaborate with people remotely. You can use the digital whiteboards, all that sort of stuff. And if I go into it briefly, we've got things like a digital whiteboard now. We've got someone dialed in on the other end of this for the point of view of the demonstration at the moment, but obviously if I'm talking to someone in an office somewhere, having a Teams conversation and trying to demonstrate what's going on, I could be whiteboarding out a scenario here where I might say that we've got an office here, and I then connect that to the internet. Advantage of a rubber on the end of the pen, as we spell. I can then say, actually, let's put someone's home office here, another person's home office here, and another person's home office here. And if I'm collaborating with someone at the other end, then what they can do is start to show me how those all link up. So we can have a link up there, look, and we can have another link over there, and another link over there. And I can carry on collaborating with them and saying, actually, I don't think that link should go there, I think it should go like that as a point-to-point link, whatever. But it allows you to collaborate and work with people in a large team, so you could take a variety of people, variety of people on a Microsoft Teams session and do that. These tools, as we talked about earlier, allow you to use things like the entire Office suite. So you can see on here you've got PowerPoint, Word, Excel, your usual tools that you'd collaborate on. So if you're talking with someone and working with Office 365 on a Word document, in the way it allows multiple people to edit a document live these days, that'll allow you to do it. Of course, you won't want to do that with a touchscreen. So that allows you to use things like that, that's a Microsoft cordless keyboard, mouse on the end of it, links up to the big screen. Great for doing this sort of thing in the meeting room and using it a bit more than just as a video conference.
That's because typing anything out in here is not fun. But it makes it much easier to use.
So when you want to use it as more than a video conference tool, you want to use it for doing something more than just having a face-to-face meeting, you can use things like this. And as I say, you've got all the tools on here, so you can have Power BI, Word, Excel, but there's a whole bunch of other apps there and a whole bunch of things you can install on it. Most people have seen these by now, but we talk about things in maps a lot when we're doing a bit with a map to say, actually, where are the offices, where are we linking up? That's our offices there, so if I bring that and say, let's look at a view there, that's our offices there. If I want to take that piece there, put it in over here, I can then move that down and I can use this part of our drawing in here. So I could link the internet back to that, shows the office, whatever. But all the various tools that you can use on this that make it more than just a video conferencing.
Indeed. Indeed.
So that's the Surface Hub. It's great, but actually for the video conference element, these cameras, it's got one small camera. It's a bit tricky in terms of picking up a large room. The audio in it's not great. So there's other things you can then add to that to do it.
To enhance that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think now if we drop onto a call with someone, we can demonstrate.
Okay. It's a quick change, and we're on a conference call with DR Marketing Director. Hey, Dee.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
And we should probably reference, we're playing the sound now, rather than being out of the Surface Hub, we're using a poly soundbar.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the common complaints when people are using screens that are strapped to a wall is that the sound in them isn't that great. Now there's some new technology which we'll go on to behind us in a bit, which shows you how one way of solving that. Another way of solving it right now is things like a soundbar. This one's a very small one, it's portable, battery powered, you can use it with, you can carry it in your bag and use it for a conference call.
Makes a nice noise when you accidentally press buttons.
Makes a nice noise when you press the buttons. But you can link that to your mobile phone if you're out and about and you want to do a conference call ad hoc in a meeting. Yeah. You can link it up to a bigger device, something like the one that we're using on the wall. And
I guess it's good because obviously we're not a very small room, but I've seen these in far larger rooms, and you can have these further back. And this is the 50-inch, and they do an 85-inch Surface as well, don't they?
Yeah, it's 80-something inch.
Yeah. But the fact is, you can be quite far away from a room full of people, and the sound is limited. So
and they do those sorts of things. Lots of different vendors do them. They make them in all different sizes, so you can spread them about. We've got obviously things like the keyboard that we talked about earlier. One of the other things that people often don't realise is the importance of a decent headset. So we use a lot of these in the office. That's a Poly one again, Poly, Jabra, and big manufacturers doing that sort of stuff. But having a properly noise cancelling microphone on the headset that's going to make a difference. Actually, you can have a conference call. For people at home, it's even bigger than in an office sometimes. I have two small people that run around my house, and if they come legging into my office while I'm on a conference call, it's all very well having the background blurred, but if the background's blurred and you don't actually have the microphone on a noise cancelling one like that, you hear every word they say. As it is, I can have a 2-year-old tagging at my trouser leg trying to drag me away from the PC, and no one will be any the wiser because the background's blurred and I've got a microphone that only picks up here, right in front of my mouth.
Very useful, very useful. I mean, look, we're all used to that kind of circumstance nowadays. One thing I noticed on this, and whilst I'm a big fan of the Surface technology, using it now and then using it in larger rooms, as we can see in the bottom right hand corner for us, we can see a picture of what the other person's seeing. Now, we look quite small on this, but I suppose we look a bit bigger to D, but I've sat on D's side many times doing this with more people on the other side, and it can be a bit of a struggle to see who's talking or who's who. There is a limitation.
And that's where we wanted to get into the main point for today's podcast, which is introducing some of the newer technology. So things like a Neat. We've got a Neat screen behind us. We'll move the room around in just a second so you can see that again. But from the perspective of actually giving a conference or a meeting where you're involving people more on a one-to-one basis in the meeting room, things like this are great new technology. So give us a moment and we'll do another quick change.
Cool. We switched again from the Surface Hub to the new Neat board. Neat have been doing this technology for a while now, but on Zoom, and they've now got it out in Teams. This is actually beta, and by the time hopefully we show this will be generally available. As you see, it's me currently sat all by myself, having a conversation with Dee also. But if I ask Rupert to join me,
Exactly.
see nothing changes immediately, but as you settle down, as if by magic,
Hopefully, board should do something. There we go.
There we go. So now, what we talked about before is obviously when we're doing Teams meetings on the Surface Hub and you have a room full of people, you get the whole room. And obviously now that's kind of, it removes, I guess, that white space, and actually it's a bit like, is it Teams Gallery? When it brings everyone together in the gallery mode. But I personally think that's much easier on the eye. You can identify who's talking, it's just a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's great technology. They use the camera at a very high resolution and then pick out individual people to bring it to a more balanced meeting. So you feel that the meeting you're taking place in is more balanced between the people you've got on either side.
And it is more like, when you have a one-to-one Teams, that feels quite personal. Obviously, with the bigger groups it doesn't, but it kind of brings it into that ratio where it is like as if Dee is sat in the meeting room with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, this hasn't been available on Teams yet. It should be any day now. But we're already seeing a lot of interest in them for Teams use. The board itself is not as capable as that, because that's basically a PC, that's basically a mobile phone in technology internally. So that has a load of apps, but this one itself, for the video conferencing, takes it on another level. They are talking about bringing in new functionality for the Surface Hubs, bringing new cameras out for them, that sort of stuff, which should bring it towards this level, but Neat have got it available now.
Yeah, nearly now.
Nearly now.
But it's, I mean, it's like you say, it's the tools that fit for purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you want pure VC, then clearly you can see there's an advantage.
Yeah, and it's a significant cost differential as well between the two.
Yeah, there is. So let's try and break it. If we bring in another person. Thanks, Sam. That's not me thanking myself, that is actually Sam. I'll let that settle.
Yeah, so it's gone back out to get us all while it picks up where people's faces are.
It's very clever.
Back in, does it all automatically.
Should another person? Why not? Natalie, do you want to join us? Well, I thought we broke it for a second.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's start with pre-recorded live TV. And then go on. Simon, do you want to join us as well?
There you go. So in terms of new technology, this is brand new. As we said, it's got a great big soundbar across the top of it, so the audio is a massive step up from what slightly older technology, even though not that old technology, can achieve. You can substitute that with things like the device on the table that we said, but actually in terms of the camera and the layout for the room, that's a whole other level, moves the game on completely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really good. And again, like you say, it's the right tool for the right job.
Yeah.
And then using the right accessories and peripherals and all that sort of stuff to achieve what it is that you need for your business. Okay, so let's see that work in reverse. Simon, if I can ask you to reverse out a shot again, please. Thank you. So they can't find them anymore, so that should now rebalance.
There you go.
Very clever. And then Natalie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tries to follow them out of the room, because it will pick up people standing, people sitting, etc.
Well, I guess so. You could change places, move around, etc.
Yeah, if I come and sit in the other side of you now,
you'll be in trouble because your microphone's there.
Yeah, indeed. There you go.
Yeah.
But it's actually repositioned it on the call as well, because it's worked out that I've moved. I'll go back.
Then why should you go back, Sam? If you want to leave. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
It's very clever, I have to say. It's very simple. It's all software. The camera's not. There's not multiple cameras. It's just a single camera and
one camera
by software.
Taking the very high-res image and just dividing it up into multiple images by software. It's very well done.
It's very well done. So I mean, obviously it's very cool. The technology is very clever. We're looking at a neat board here.
Yep.
There's also different options that you said before, or we discussed off camera. Sorry, that if you've got screens, there's other options.
Yeah, so this is a neat board. This is the whole alternative to the Surface Hub. Yeah. It's a 65-inch 4K screen. It's got various environmental sensors in it that monitor your meeting room, so it can monitor things like CO2, air quality, etc. So you can, with the way people are going with building management systems integrated with various things, it can feed that information back these days. So you can do that. It's got 5 different microphones in the soundbar on top of it, so they pick up all the various different people in the room. Yeah. As we said earlier, it's got one very high-res camera in the middle. But the audio quality of that big bar across the top makes a big difference to the overall experience of using this for a conference call compared to the older technology. But that bar itself is available as the Neat Bar. So they do a Neat Bar and a Neat Bar Pro that are things that you can bolt onto your existing screen. So if you have a screen in a meeting room that has got some older conferencing system, as long as it's got a decent HDMI input, we can bolt that on. You can even bolt a Neat Bar onto one of these. The problem with that is it takes all the Surface Hub cool functionality and removes it and turns it down to being just a screen. Yeah. Microsoft, as I said earlier, are working to bring out technology to do the screen capture on those, and Neat are working to enable their devices to be plugged into other things and work interactively rather than just to take over the control of the screen. So there are different ways to put that solution together for people. We're exploring all different ones for customers at the moment, but you can basically take whatever you want from the technology. You
Yeah.
can take the whole thing as a package. You can take just the camera and the speaker array at the top of it, mic array, and turn it into modernising your meeting rooms and making them fit for purpose for the modern Zoom / Teams / online collaboration
world that we live in. Yeah, it's interesting. Like you say, they kind of move more towards the Surface Hub, and the Surface Hub moves more towards what they're doing. Microsoft will clearly catch up on the technology. That's what they do. So it'd be interesting to see what these guys add. And I guess the differentiator, always with these things, will come down to the commercials. We won't talk about RRPs on this, but we'll just say there is a significant difference in price between the two.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I've been very impressed with the technology and what it can do. Really interested to see how they develop the product and kind of what comes next.
Yeah, me too.
Brilliant. Well, thank you. Thanks for joining me. And thank you for joining us on this episode of Krome Cast. Tech It Out. If there's anything else you'd like us to cover in future episodes, then do leave that in the comments section below. Remember to like, subscribe and share. And join us again next time on Krome Cast. Take it out.